Welcome to my Harley Bobber build, part 5. Firstly, I just must apologise for how long it's taken to get this up, but I worked crazy hours over the holidays and I just didn't have time. So in this section, basically taking off the back struts and taking off the indicators and removing the wiring from them. I don't think I'll be putting indicators back on the bike. Also removing the top belt guard as I want to clean up that whole belt section. So taking out the back rim, this is actually harder than it looks because it did take two of us to do it. As you can see, my dad's here helping me, but everything's rusted up, everything's corroded, so it took a bit of time to get it off. Removing the front rim as well. Main reason I was doing this was to get the new tyres fitted onto the rims so that I can have an idea of what kind of clearance the rear mudguard and stuff will require. As you can see, that's the new bike rim and that's the new struts for the bike. Now these are a 10-inch solid strut, so they will be making the bike rigid at the back. That was the fender, and just a very simple trailer type fender. This is the seat, the solo sprung seat. Comes with this, well, you have to buy this separate, but it comes with this little bracket so that it pivots at the front and then obviously sits on the bike springs. So that's what gives you your movement up and down. So with the new tyre on the bike rim, we're putting the bike rim in place again so we can fit the bike struts. The bike struts are quite simple, they just screw on, it's very simple, you just bolt them on. You will need two people to do this because that tyre and bike rim are heavy, trust me. Now one issue I had with the struts was they were catching on the bike axle. The bike axle wouldn't go into place because the solid strut is a lot bigger where the bolt goes through than the sprung strut that was fitted in the factory. How I managed to clear this was I basically put two big washers in at the bottom of the bike strut where my dad's pointing to there, and that gave us clearance, so there was no real problem. Once we knew we had clearance for the bike axle, they were just tightened and put in place because I wanted to see with the seat and that on how it was going to actually fit with the new tyre, etc. So basically just put them in place, no problem. Now for the back fender, what I actually decided to do was get a bit of aluminium, and as you can see I'm just cutting it there myself. So we shaped the aluminium around the fender to get the right shape and then done measurements from that. I'm cutting a rough idea just to get the fender in around the back, and as you can see on the right hand side, that's the actual fender, so it's going to be cut. There was 6 inches coming off it to that point, and it would also need to be cut to that shape. Now here I was just making up a simple mock bracket for the bike seat to sit on. I just made that out of card, just like a pretty stiff card, just with the measurements and all there. This same idea, card again, just made this out of card for the tank rise, and that's just a wee 2-inch tank rise to pull the tank up off the top bar 2 inches. So I got them made in card, just measured them out myself and then sent them to a mate to get him to make aluminium pieces for me. This is my nephew Ryan. He came round at the spraying stage. I decided to spray all these casings myself. I was going to send it to a guy around the corner who does professional spraying, but I thought to save money I would just try it myself and just spray up all the other wee bits and pieces as well that I wanted to make black. Now I've never sprayed anything in my life. This was a first time attempt, and to be honest I'm very, very happy with it. The spray is just matte black spray from one of the local retailers here. Nothing special about it at all, I'm just spraying it from the tin. So I just kept my distance with the spray can and just went back and forth, and the casings here actually, I don't know if you can really see it in the film, but the casings here actually almost went like a brown colour. I done a wee bit of research and cleaned up all these casings, which took me forever. That was the main work that I was really doing over the winter, was cleaning the actual engine and these casings and stuff with everything from wire brush to wire heads for a drill. It took absolute ages, but it was well worth it. At this stage I've also painted the engine. I actually just got a hand paint and painted the engine. It's a high temperature paint, so it should be fine, as is this spray. It's for high temperature, so it is an engine spray. So I painted the whole engine over the winter, but again it was just a tin of paint and a paintbrush basically, but the main work in it was rubbing everything down. I think it took me about 4 or 5 weeks to get everything rubbed down. Maybe going out for an hour every other night or something like that to do it, because it was well corroded. When I look back at pictures now of the bike before that, it was well corroded, so it takes a bit of time. On the engine there, that took about 12 or 13 sprays to get that to the right colour. That's my dad just bolting on the rear springs to the seat. Again, that wee pivot bracket at the front just bolts onto the seat, which simply just bolts onto the bike. There was a wee bracket comes with that seat, which quite handily slid onto the wee capture section at the front for the rear saddle. That just bolts on, and then your springs bolt onto the back, the wee aluminium bracket that I got made. That's Dad just putting it in place there. So that wee aluminium bracket, simple, just bolt it on to the electrical housing there, and then 2 simple holes with the springs bolt onto. That's the 2-inch tank lift, so it brings the tank up off the frame, makes everything a lot cleaner there, opens up the area around the heads of the engine. So here I'm just really, this is the first time the bike's been on the ground for, well, probably about 8 months. So I'm just sitting on the spring seat just to get an idea of what length I want the handlebars to be. I'm going for 8 hangers, so I wasn't sure if I wanted 16-inch, 17, 19, I just wasn't sure, so we were just simply doing a small measurement here just to see what size. If you look at the engine block there, you can see the way it's been painted. I've left the top covers chrome and the piston bars chrome. Everything else I've painted black. You can see the engine blocks matte black, so that's the way I wanted it. Next thing, I'll throw on the forward controls, which I've just purchased, and I'll get the bars and get some work done on the electrics. So that's it for now. That's the end of part 5. Hopefully the bike will be ready for paint very shortly. I'll get the tank and the fender and all done professionally, so hopefully the bike will be on the road maybe in the next 8 or 9 weeks. So fingers crossed. Thanks for watching again. Cheers. Bye bye.